Hello my studious friends, welcome to this 12th lecture on the topic of admission of partner. We are going to solve practice problems and this is the 8th question. 7th question was quite a lengthy question. It was having lot of different adjustments and the most difficult adjustment was about adjustment of partner's capital. 8th question is also on the similar lines. So let me go to the question number 8 now quickly. Question number 8, yeah, this is question number 7. If you remember, there were 9 different observations and then we had considered this adjustment number 6. It was a very important adjustment in which Alia had not specified how much amount of capital she will bring in. So we identified what is the capital she is supposed to bring in, and based on that we calculated the capital. There was working note number 4. It was a special type of working note that we did. Okay, I hope you remember this working note. This is partners capital account and then balance sheet, calculation of ratios, that is all okay. This is the special working note. We even have given the numberings to the different steps. So which line we wrote first, which line we wrote afterwards, how did we arrive at different figures, which is a balancing figure, and then what is the meaning of brought in, where it will be transferred. All these things we had seen in this question number 7. Question number 8 is a little different question as compared to question number 7, but yes, it will also have the adjustment of capital. So this working note number 4 in a little different format depending upon the method in which the adjustments are constructed will have to be solved by us. Okay, so welcome to our question number 8 now. Let me disappear from the screen and we are going to be discussing with me, solving this problem with me. Chalo. The balance sheet of Adil and Samir, who share profits in the ratio of 2:1 as on 31st of March 2018. Balance sheet says liability side, Adil, Samir, capital account is given, investment fluctuation reserve. In the previous problem we had workmen compensation reserve. We treated it just like liability. In this problem we are having investment fluctuation reserve. This will also be treated like liability. Now what is the purpose of investment fluctuation reserve? Let us consider a situation. We have purchased investments. Investments are in the nature of shares of some Tata company or some Birla company or some Ambani company or maybe Infosys or maybe Wipro or any other such public limited company, maybe some banks, etc., State Bank of India. We have purchased the shares of such public limited company, but as you are aware, the prices of the shares in the market are always fluctuating depending upon the share market trend. Then as on 31st of March, if the prices have gone down and if we are thinking that probably these prices are going to remain down for a considerable period of time, they may not go up, then it is better for us to write off those inflated values of the shares. For that purpose we are going to use investment fluctuation reserve. So investment fluctuation reserve is basically for the purpose of absorbing the shocks which may happen on account of the continuous movement in the share prices or continuous movement in the value of investments. So if the investments value are going down, then instead of writing off the reduction in the value of investments to P&L account, we will write off the investment reduction value or investment reduction in the value of investment to investment fluctuation reserve account. So I'm repeating again, what is the purpose of investment fluctuation reserve? It works as a shock absorber against the changes in the prices of investment on account of share market trends. Next one is general reserve. That is now very old adjustment for you. You already know general reserve should be transferred to old partners capital account in their old profit sharing ratio. Sundry creditors, balance sheet liability side, bills payable, balance sheet liability side. If there is adjustment, it will come to inner column. If there is no adjustment, it will go to outer column. Land and building, investments. Okay, see here we are already having investments of 1,08,000. If the price of investment, let us take an example now. If the price of investment is changing, let us say from 1,08,000 to 1 lakh. We have not sold investments, but their market prices have gone down from 1,08,000 if the current market price of the investment is 1 lakh. Then what the accountant will specify? The accountant will specify that the investments having value of rupees 1,08,000 are now reduced by rupees 8,000, so their new value should be 1 lakh. Then from the investments, please deduct 8,000. So it is almost like an asset getting written off. Yes. It is almost like depreciation. Yes. In that case, it will be transferred to P&L account. Yes. But in this problem, we are already having investment fluctuation reserve. So the reduction of 8,000 rupees in the value of investment, we will be deducting it against investment fluctuation reserve. So in that case, in the new balance sheet, our investment will be inner column 1,08,000 less reduction 8,000, outer column 1 lakh. On the liability side, investment fluctuation reserve, inner column 15,000 less reduction 8,000, so outer column 7,000. I hope you can understand now what is the basic idea of investment fluctuation reserve. So the reduction in the value of investment is not directly adjusted to P&L account, but it is adjusted against investment fluctuation reserve account. Then how do we create investment fluctuation reserve? Now this is utilization of investment fluctuation reserve. The example which I had given just now, 8,000 rupees to be deducted from asset side and 8,000 rupees to be deducted from reserve on the liability side. This is the utilization of investment fluctuation reserve. But how to create it? If you want to use something, then first you should create it. Then how are you going to create it? There are two ways of creation. One is when there is an appreciation in the value of investment, at that time you can create it. Other one is every year from your P&L account, you will take away some money and transfer it to investment fluctuation reserve, just like you are having piggy bank. But this will be an accounting entry. There is no piggy bank in reality, but you are having your salary. From that, some amount you are taking out and you are putting it in your piggy bank. Similarly, from your P&L account, you will transfer some money to investment fluctuation reserve. So creation of investment fluctuation reserve happens either out of P&L account or out of appreciation in the value of investment every year. And utilization of investment fluctuation reserve is basically for the purpose of writing off the investments if the share prices fall down. I hope now it is clear to all of you. Creation of investment fluctuation reserve is either out of P&L account every year, P&L account is debited and investment fluctuation reserve account is credited. And utilization is when investments value go down, then we reduce investment and we reduce investment fluctuation reserve. So what is the use of this? Why should we do this particular thing? Then our P&L account will not have any violent changes. If the prices of shares in the current year, let us say every year we are going to transfer 10,000 rupees, just example. Every year we are going to transfer 10,000 rupees from the P&L account to investment fluctuation reserve account. So every year our P&L account will have a pinch, small pinch of rupees 10,000. In that year, if suppose investment values are not fluctuating, then investment fluctuation reserve will remain at rupees 10,000. In the second year, again small pinch of rupees 10,000. So investment fluctuation reserve opening balance was 10,000. The closing balance will become 20,000 because second year you are already having 10,000 rupees extra. Again in the second year, share prices did not show any much change. So investment fluctuation reserve will show the balance of 20,000. In the third year, 30,000. In the fourth year, 40,000. And suppose in the fifth year, the share prices showed violent change. Suddenly there is a reduction in the share prices by rupees 30,000. Then in that case, our P&L account will not be affected by 30,000, but our investment fluctuation reserve will be reduced by rupees 30,000. So P&L account will not show ups and downs, very high ups and downs. But P&L account will show normal every year 10,000 chota amount. That is the basic idea of investment fluctuation reserve. Just like your father must be saving some money for the purpose of mediclaim. Okay, he is paying mediclaim insurance premium, or maybe he is paying saving some money for the purpose of daughter's education, or maybe daughter's marriage, or maybe son's education, or maybe son's marriage, etc., or maybe for the purpose of painting of the house. So every year some amount is kept aside. So whenever the big work will happen, at that time he is not required to take out big money because so much money is already being created in the past. That is the basic idea of investment fluctuation reserve. So I'm repeating for the last time, investment fluctuation reserve is created for the purpose of recording changes in the value of investments, if any. It is created either out of P&L account every year, smaller amount, or out of appreciation in the value of investments. It is utilized whenever the value of investments go down. Is it clear to all of you? Okay, so what is the entry for creating investment fluctuation reserve? The entry is P&L account debit to investment fluctuation reserve account. And what is the entry for utilization of investment fluctuation reserve? Investment fluctuation reserve account debit to investment account. So investment can be reduced. Okay, so I have discussed now investment fluctuation reserve adjustment in detail. This is how investment fluctuation reserve functions. Now at the time of admission, what is going to happen? That may be totally different. We are going to see it separately. But I am telling you what is the way in which investment fluctuation reserve every year happens, or every year how it works. What is the basic operation method of investment fluctuation reserve? That we have understood. Once we are clear now what is at the heart of investment fluctuation reserve, then we can immediately consider how it is to be treated at the time of admission also. Okay, so next one is general reserve, sundry creditors, TK. Investments are 1,08,000. Debtors, goodwill, okay, very nice. Balance sheet is already having goodwill. We have seen this particular type of adjustment. Here also goodwill was already there, 42,000. We have written it off against old partners in their old PSR because there was no adjustment, if you remember properly. Here also we are going to do the same thing if there is no adjustment. So existing goodwill of rupees 12,000. If there is any adjustment, we will try to follow the adjustment for existing goodwill. And if there is no adjustment for existing goodwill, then we will write it off against old partners capital account in their old profit sharing ratio. Now this is one more important point, profit and loss account. Profit and loss account. I hope you remember the different things which I had taught you about admission of a partner accounting steps. Let me just consider that step. Okay, here is the lecture, and here we have considered step number 2. In step number 2 we have mentioned on the asset side, if you have P&L account. Step number 2, transfer of assets and liabilities from the existing balance sheet. On the asset side, if you have P&L account, it will be transferred to old partners capital account debit side in the old PSR. If you have general reserve on the liability side, it means it is past undistributed profit. Past undistributed profit belongs to old partners only. Similarly, if you have past undistributed losses, they also belong to old partners only. But if it is an item coming from liability side, it will be transferred to partners capital account credit side. And if it is an item coming from asset side, then it will be transferred to partners capital account debit side. But ultimately which partners? Old partners. Which ratio? Old PSR. So this adjustment which we have already discussed in first lecture in step number 2, and up to 7th problem we did not get the chance to use it. In the 8th problem we are getting chance. Balance sheet, asset side, if there is P&L account, where to transfer it? Old partners capital account debit side in their old PSR. Okay, so let us go back to our problem. This is profit and loss account, 12,000 rupees. Next, advertisement suspense. This is a good item again. Advertisement suspense means an amount of advertisement which we have paid probably for next 2-3 years. Probably we have hired Shah Rukh Khan for the purpose of advertising our Hyundai Santro, and he has made the shooting for 1 year or for one time, one day, and that shooting, whatever advertisement we have shot, we are going to use probably for next 3 years. So that money is required to be written off over a period of 3 years. It is not to be considered as advertisement expenditure in which the year in which advertisement was shot, but it will be considered as expenditure of the year in which advertisement will be shown. So it maybe it is going to be shown for next 3 years. So we are going to write it off over a period of 3 years. So it is a fictitious asset. The treatment which we have given to the profit and loss account, 12,000. Same treatment we are going to give to the advertisement suspense account, 12,000. That means old partners capital account debit in their old profit sharing ratio. That's what we are going to do. Okay. Next one is cash. Cash will go to cash and bank account debit side. So lot of discussion we have done only on the balance sheet first. Next is on 1/4/2018, Raju was admitted. So new partner's name is Raju. He was admitted for 30,000 rupees as his capital for 1/4 share. So his share is 1/4 and his capital amount is given. In the previous problem, Alia will bring how much capital? That was not given. In fact, the wording was necessary amount for her share of goodwill or for her share of capital. Whereas now it is clearly told that Raju will pay rupees 30,000 his capital. So the problem is relatively easy for 1/4 share. Then he also pays rupees 15,000 for goodwill. So Raju is already bringing in goodwill also in cash. Half of the sum is to be withdrawn by Adil and Samir. We have done this kind of adjustment earlier for two problems. Half of the amount is withdrawn or half of the amount is retained. That is how the adjustment can be created. RDD is required to be created at the rate of 10%. That will be on debtors, but there is no existing RDD. No tension. Value of land and building is appreciated by rupees 30,000. By rupees 30,000. So 75,000 should not be converted into 30,000, but 75,000 should be added with 30,000. So outer column amount will be 1,05,000 because the wording is not appreciated to 30,000, it is appreciated by 30,000. So whatever is there, that should remain, and additional 30,000 should be added to the same. So 75 plus 30, that goes to 1,05,000. Investments were reduced by rupees 22,500. Yes. So investment fluctuation reserve will have to be used by us. The amount of investment was 1,08,000. But now it seems that the share market is violently going up and down, and probably it has gone down. There is a reduction in the value of investment of rupees 22,500. Sir, it's an adjustment of revaluation. We will transfer it to our revaluation account debit side, 22,500. I'll say no. In this problem you already have investment fluctuation reserve. So out of 22,500, full amount of 22,500 cannot go to revaluation account debit side. Instead, 15,000 will be adjusted against investment fluctuation reserve, and remaining 7,500 will be adjusted against revaluation account. If you have understood it, very nice. If you have not understood it, while I'm solving the problem, you will understand how the treatment is given. So 22,500 is a reduction, but this entire 22,500 will not have to be transferred to revaluation account because we have already provided for investment fluctuation reserve to the extent of 15,000. So the loss of 22,500 will not be written off fully to revaluation account. It will be partly written off against investment fluctuation reserve, and remaining amount of the loss will be adjusted against revaluation account. Okay, very good adjustment, very important adjustment. Sundry creditors are to be revalued at rupees 62,250. Okay, creditors are having adjustment from 63,000. They should be made to be 62,250. Great. Capitals of Adil and Samir to be adjusted taking Raju's capital as base. So for 30,000, for 1/4 share, he is bringing in 30,000. Then whatever is the share of Adil, how much capital he should have maintained in the partnership. For 1/4 share, if Raju is paying 30,000, then how much capital should have been maintained by Mr. Samir? That we are going to calculate based on Raju's share. In the 7th problem, the basis was total capital of the firm after making all adjustments. In 7th question, the capital adjustment was based on total capital of the firm after making all adjustments. But in the 8th problem, the adjustment of capital is based on Raju's capital, and Raju's capital amount is already given. Raju's PSR is also given. For 1/4 share, 30,000. Then whatever is the share of Adil, new share, we don't want old share. Whatever is the share, new share of Adil, whatever is the new share of Samir, that will be used to decide how much capital they should maintain. Adjustment of capital is to be made through cash. Okay, so just like previous problem, working note number 4, something will be brought in or maybe withdrawn, and the adjustment will be made in cash account. Okay, so what are the different things which will have to be drawn by us? They have asked us to prepare revaluation account, partners capital account, and balance sheet of the new firm as on 1/4/2018. Very good. So draw revaluation account 6 to 8 lines, partners capital account 6 to 8 lines, balance sheet for 3/4 page, and then working note number 1, calculation of ratios. Working note number 2, bank account. Working note number 3, goodwill account. Bank account 6 to 8 lines, goodwill account, opening goodwill is there already, so 6 to 8 lines. And then working note number 4, calculation of capital. If you have seen the working note format properly, then you will come to know that compared to question number 7, I have removed one column. In question number 7, our columns were 3 partners and then total, whereas now the columns are particulars and 3 partners, nothing more than that. Reason is the decision about how much capital should be there and how much capital can be withdrawn or may be brought in is not dependent on total capital of the firm, but it is depending on Raju's capital. So there is no need to calculate total capital, that can be ignored by us. So I'm repeating again, फटाफट से ड्रॉ करो. रिवैल्यूएशन अकाउंट 6 to 8 लाइन, पार्टनर्स कैपिटल अकाउंट 6 to 8 लाइन, बैलेंस शीट 3/4 पेज, कैलकुलेशन ऑफ रेशियो 6 to 8 लाइन्स, बैंक अकाउंट 6 to 8 लाइन्स, गुडविल अकाउंट 6 to 8 लाइन्स, and calculation of capital is the last working note, so number of lines will automatically get adjusted. Okay, so pause the video, draw the accounts, and then come back to me. Let me start now. I am assuming that you have drawn the format and you have resumed the video. Chalo, very good. First step, open necessary ledger accounts, over. Second step, transfer of assets and liabilities. Let me start. Capital of Adil and capital of Samir, 90,000 and 48,600. I'll go to partners capital account credit side by, oh, I think I forgot to write the observations first. Let me write down the observations. Yes, observations are important for you. एग्जाम में लिखने का नहीं है, not to be written in exam. They are just for the sake of helping us. They are our anchor. It helps us for the purpose of deciding what to do, what not to do. First one, old PSR is equal to 2:1. Second one, Raju is admitted for 1/4 share. Next one, Raju brings capital and goodwill in cash. Next one, sacrifice by old partners is not given. Okay, next one, balance sheet already has general reserve, comma, P&L account, comma, advertisement, suspense account. Some people call it as advertisement, some people call it as advertisement. It's one and the same, don't worry. Spelling is going to be same. Pronunciations are not very important for us. We are basically accountant. Advertisement suspense account is something which I like to say, so I'm calling it as advertisement suspense account. Balance sheet already has general reserve and P&L account and advertisement suspense account. Very good. And this was our this one, no? This is number 5. Yes. Then number 6, balance sheet has investment, fluctuation, reserve, and there is revaluation of investment. Rest of the things are okay. So these are the 6 adjustments or 6 different observations which we should keep in mind when we are solving the problem. Question number 8. Very nice question. Intelligent students like you deserve this kind of question. Okay, chalo, let us start. So Adil capital 90,000, Samir capital 48,600. Let me go to partners capital account credit side by balance carried forward. Adil column 90,000, Samir column 48,600. Let me check 48,600. Yes, investment fluctuation reserve, we will write it in the balance sheet liabilities side. On the balance sheet liabilities side, we'll first of all write who are the partners: Adil, Samir and Raju. Adil, Samir and Raju. Below that we are going to write investment fluctuation reserve. Inner column we are going to write 15,000 is the amount in the inner column. Afterwards we are going to leave one line for the same. General reserve will go to partners capital account credit side by general reserve. It should go to old partners capital in their old PSR by general reserve. Let me write the full form. We are having space here, so no tension. Old partners capital, that is Adil and Samir, in their old ratio, that is 2:1. The amount of general reserve is 12,000. 12,000 to be divided by 3. 12,000 divided by 3 is equal to 4,000. So Samir will get 4,000 and Adil will get 8,000. This is past undistributed profit, so Raju does not have any right to demand anything out of the same. Raju's right is only from the date of his admission, not prior to the date of his admission. Okay. Sundry creditors balance sheet liability side, I think there is an adjustment. So inner column 63,000. Sundry creditors. Inner column 63,000. Next one, bills payable 60,000. There is no adjustment for bills payable, so directly outer column bills payable. Directly outer column 60,000. So we have completed posting of liability side. Asset side is land and building. There is an adjustment for land and building, so I'll write land and building in the inner column. 75,000 land and building. Next is BUILDING. Below land and building you are having next one, investment 1,08,000. There is an adjustment for investment. This problem is very beautiful for investment, Baba log and baby log also. Investment 1,08,000. I'll leave one line for the adjustment. Debtors 39,000. Balance sheet asset side there is RDD adjustment, so inner column debtors, inner column 39,000. Next one, goodwill 12,000. This goodwill we are going to transfer to its separate account which we have prepared in working note number 3. We are going to write it there as to balance brought down 12,000. Next, profit and loss account. This is profit and loss account coming on asset side. It represents past undistributed losses. Past undistributed losses should be transferred to partners capital account. If past undistributed profits should be transferred to them, then past undistributed losses should also be transferred to them. Past undistributed profit, old partners, old ratio. To past undistributed losses, old partners, old ratio. The only difference is profit will go to partners capital account credit side and loss will go to partners capital account debit side. So I'll go to partners capital account debit side, P&L account, 12,000 amount is there, so it's the same amount, there is no problem. I'll write here to P&L account. Adil is 8,000 and Samir is 4,000 and Raju is dash. Below that we are going to write advertisement suspense account. The amount of advertisement suspense account is again 12,000. It's a fictitious asset. It is coming on asset side, but we cannot use it separately now. So it is better to write it off before admission of new partner. Fictitious assets, घर के अंदर कचरा रहेगा तो मेहमान आने के पहले निकाल देने का रहता है. So fictitious assets, घर के अंदर कचरा है, admission के पहले निकाल दो. Cash 30,600. 30,600. Cash or bank account. Working note number 2. We'll write here. The name of the account is cash account, not bank account, because they have clearly mentioned it is cash. And then we'll write to balance brought down. What is the amount of balance brought down? Rupees 30,600. Let us write down 30,600. Okay, very good. So first step, open necessary ledger accounts is complete. Second step, transfer of assets and liabilities is complete. Third step, capital brought in by new partner. Raju is bringing in 30,000 as his capital for 1/4 share. Cash is coming in. Raju is the giver. Cash account debit to Raju's capital account. Cash account debit to Raju's capital account. So debit side of cash account to Raju's capital. Amount is how much is bringing in? Raju is bringing in for 1/4 share 30,000 rupees. So I'll write here 30,000. Second effect, Raju is the giver, credit the giver, Raju's capital account credit side by cash account. Dash for Adil, dash for Samir, and 30,000 for our Raju Bhaiya. Okay, great. Next, Raju pays rupees 15,000 for goodwill. Half of the sum is to be withdrawn by Adil and Samir. So first one, we'll have to find out what is the sacrifice ratio, because cash is brought in cash. Sorry, goodwill is brought in cash. If goodwill is brought in cash, that means it's a premium method. In premium method, there are basically two entries. First entry, cash account bit to goodwill account. Second entry, goodwill account bit to old partners capital account in their in their sacrifice ratio. So we'll have to calculate sacrifice ratio. Let us go to working note number 1, calculation of ratios. Raju's share is 1/4. Step number 1. Raju's share is equal to 1/4. Next, step number 2, remaining balance is equal to 1 minus 1/4 is equal to 3/4. Next, step number 3, new ratio is equal to old ratio minus new ratio is equal to remaining balance REMAING into old ratio. Next, so we'll specify Adil, Samir and Raju. Adil, remaining balance of the firm now is 3/4 and Adil's old ratio was 2/3. So 3/4 into 2/3, that becomes how much? 3 into 2 is equal to 6 and 4 into 3 is equal to 12. So the answer for Adil is 6/12. Next, Samir, the ratio of Samir is how much? Remaining balance of the firm is 3/4 and ratio of Samir was 1/3. So 3 into 1 is equal to 3 and 4 into 3 is equal to 12. So the ratio of Samir is 3/12. Next one, Adil's ratio is 6, Samir's ratio is 3. That means total amount given to Adil and Samir is 9 rupees. Out of 12 rupees, 9 rupees are already distributed. That means we are going to give remaining 3 rupees to Mr. Raju. And that is the promise given to him. Out of 4 rupees, we will give him 1 rupee. So out of 12 rupees, we will have to give him 3 rupees. That is 3/12 is equal to 1/4. So our old promise is also fulfilled now. So that is also done. Next part is step number 4. Sacrifice ratio is equal to old ratio minus new ratio. First one is Adil. Adil's old ratio was 2/3 minus his new ratio is 6/12. So to make the denominators equal, we'll have to multiply first one by 4. It becomes 8/12 minus 6/12 is equal to 2/12. Samir is equal to 1/3 minus new ratio of him is 3/12. So first one to be multiplied by 4, that goes to 4/12 minus 3/12, that goes to 1/12. And there is no question of Raju sacrificing anything because he is a new partner. So sacrifice ratio is how much? 2:1, which is anyway known to us whenever only new partner share is given, and how much is the sacrifice done by the old partners is not given, then it is assumed that old partners are sacrificing in their old ratio. In other words, old ratio and sacrifice ratio is same. So sacrifice ratio was bound to be 2:1. We were already knowing it. We just cross verified the same. Let us pass the entries now. How much is the goodwill brought in by Mr. Raju? The adjustment says goodwill brought in by Raju is 15,000. So the first entry is cash account debit to goodwill account. What are we doing? We are selling goodwill. To whom? To Raju. So cash is coming in. And why did the cash come in? It came in because we sold goodwill. How much is the amount we have received for sale of goodwill? 15,000. And then we are going to specify cash is coming in, goodwill is going out by goodwill account. How much is the amount? 15,000. This amount of goodwill, who created it? It was created by the old partners, that is Adil and Samir. So it should be transferred to Adil and Samir in which ratio? Their sacrifice ratio. So in that case, entry will be goodwill account debit to old partners capital account in their sacrifice ratio. So to Adil's capital and to Samir's capital. 15,000 to be divided in the ratio of 2:1. 15,000 to be divided in the ratio of 2:1. So apply your calculations. 15,000 divided by 3 is equal to 5,000. So 5,000 is for Samir and 10,000 is for Adil. Second effect of this 10,000 and 5,000 to be given to partners capital account credit side by goodwill account. Amount is how much? 10,000 for Adil and 5,000 for Samir. Nothing is for Raju. Plus there is one more important point, that there is an existing goodwill in the balance sheet of rupees 12,000. What is to be done with this? Problem is completely silent about the same. When the problem is silent about existing goodwill, then what should we do? Existing goodwill should be written off if the new partner has brought in goodwill in the form of cash. So this 12,000 to be written off to old partners in their old profit sharing ratio by Adil capital and by Samir capital amount is how much? 12,000 to be divided in the ratio, old ratio is 2:1, so that becomes 8,000 and 4,000. Second effect, partners capital account debit side will write to goodwill 8,000 and 4,000. Old goodwill to be written off when new partner brings in goodwill in the form of cash. It should be transferred to the old partners in old ratio. So remember, whatever goodwill is received from the new partner, I am repeating again, whatever is goodwill received from the new partner, that should be transferred to the old partners in their sacrifice ratio, and whatever is the existing goodwill, that should be transferred to partners capital in their old ratio. Goodwill brought in by the new partner, which is transferred to the old partners in sacrifice ratio, that goes to old partners capital account credit side. Here you can see that particular thing that is coming on credit side. Just below me you can see that particular thing. And goodwill which is in existing balance sheet, if that is transferred, then we consider it is to be debited to the old partners capital account in their old profit sharing ratio. I hope everybody has understood the concept. Old goodwill is written off. Written off is a loss. Loss is partners capital account debit. And goodwill sold, partners are going to get the money. So partners capital account is credited. Clear to all of you? Good. Yeah. So this is 10,000 and 5,000 goodwill received from the new partner. This 8,000 and 4,000 is existing goodwill which is written off by us. Okay. Next part. Then they have told you that half of the sum is to be withdrawn by Adil and Samir. Whatever amount Adil and Samir have received just now. How much is the amount they have received just now? 10,000 and 5,000. No sir, they have received 8,000 and 4,000. Please be careful. They have not received 8,000 and 4,000, but actually speaking we have cancelled 8,000 and 4,000. That is the old goodwill which we are cancelling from the balance sheet. And since an asset side item is cancelled, automatically one liabilities item should also be cancelled. So partners capital account is getting cancelled. Because every debit should have equal and corresponding credit. So credit is given to goodwill, debit should be given to partners capital. But they have received how much goodwill? They have received goodwill of rupees 10,000 and 5,000 by selling it to Raju. Of that, half amount they are going to withdraw. So I'll specify. Let us consider partners are the receiver and cash is going out. So to cash account. And how much will be the money? It will be half of goodwill received by them. So it is 5,000 and 2,500 and dash. Okay. Second part. Second effect will be cash or bank account credit side by Adil's capital 5,000 and by Samir's capital 2,500. Okay. So two important adjustments are over. Raju pays rupees 30,000 as his capital and Raju pays 15,000 for goodwill. Good. RDD is created at the rate of 10%. Very simple adjustment. RDD created at the rate of 10% less from debtors RDD. How much percent they have told us? 10%. Okay, so 10%. That goes to 3,900. Find out the amount to be transferred to the outer column. Out of 39,000, if you are removing 3,000, then what remains is 36,000. From that, if you are removing 900, then what remains is 35,100. So it will be 35,100. Second effect is required to be given of 3,900. Why 3,900? Because there is no old RDD. So whatever is the RDD created by us, that itself will come in the balance sheet, and the same amount will come to revaluation account. If there would have been, for example, old RDD rupees 3,000, just example. If there would have been old RDD in the old balance sheet rupees 3,000, then in revaluation account only 900 rupees would have come, because old RDD is 3,000 and new RDD is 3,900. Difference would be coming to revaluation account. But in our problem, the situation is very simple. There is no old RDD, so whatever RDD you are creating, that will be transferred to revaluation account debit side. So revaluation account debit side to RDD. Okay, amount is how much? 3,900. Next point, RDD is created at the rate of 10% हो गया. Next one is the value of land and building is appreciated by, please be careful, value of land and building is appreciated by rupees 30,000. So 75,000 should not be converted into 30,000, but 75,000 should be increased by 30,000. So 75,000 will get converted into 1,05,000. I hope everybody has understood the concept. So I'll consider this adjustment is building add appreciation, and the problem is not telling us what should be the amount after appreciation, but problem is telling us what is the amount of appreciation. So of appreciation is 30,000. That means outer column must be 1,05,000. 30,000 should be considered as profit, because our land and building is going up. The value of land and building is going up, but we paid no cash for the same. So it means it will be called as our profit by land and building account. Amount is how much? 30,000. Next adjustment, investments were reduced by rupees 22,500. The most important adjustment, or I can say yes, the most important adjustment. Second most important is capital, adjustment number 7. Let us consider now the most important adjustment of this problem. Investments were reduced by 22,500. Please don't get confused. What I'm going to do, investments, I'm going to write here less reduction or less revaluation. What is the amount of reduction? 22,500. How much amount will go to the outer column? Out of 1,08,000, you are going to remove 22,500. So amount remaining is 85,500. Okay. So one effect is complete. Now if, listen here, if this problem would not have had investment fluctuation reserve on the liability side, if investment fluctuation reserve would not have been there on the liability side of the problem, then entire reduction of 22,500 we would have transferred to our revaluation account debit side, saying that there is a reduction, there is a revaluation, there is a depreciation, it should be transferred to revaluation account debit side. However, we are already having 15,000 rupees investment fluctuation reserve. Then to the extent we are having investment fluctuation reserve, we will try to adjust the reduction against not the revaluation account but against investment fluctuation reserve account. So I'll consider investment fluctuation reserve less used for reduction of investment, or I'll say less used in reduction of investment. How much is used? Total reduction is 22,500. Total reduction is 22,500, whereas the fluctuation reserve is only rupees 15,000. So it seems that our reserve is insufficient to complete the full reduction. then to the extent reserve is available, we are going to use reserve. So obviously reserve in the outer column is going to be 0 because reserve is fully utilized by us. Still, the total reduction is 22,500 and second effect is given only of rupees 15,000. We are yet to give effect of 7,500, but to give the effect of 7,500, we don't have investment fluctuation reserve account. Then we should go to, yes, think about it. We should go to revaluation account because this is an adjustment which is happening at the time of revaluation. If investment fluctuation reserve would not have been there, then we would have considered entire amount of 22,500 in revaluation account debit side. But now since investment fluctuation reserve is already there, some part of 22,500 is adjusted against reserve, remaining part of 22,500 is adjusted in revaluation account. So I'll say here to investment into bracket 22,500 minus 15,000. I hope everybody has understood the concept. So the amount which I am considering is how much? Amount I am considering is 22,500 minus 15,000. Okay. Let me reduce the font size so it will become one single line. Yeah. So 22,500 minus 15,000 is equal to 7,500. I hope everybody has understood the second effect. I'm repeating for the last time. If there would have been no investment fluctuation reserve, then 22,500 less from investment and 22,500 revaluation account debit side. That's a simple adjustment we would have done. Since we are having investment fluctuation reserve and there is a fluctuation in the value of investment, then to the extent possible, try to adjust full fluctuation against reserve first. And if there is any more fluctuation remaining after adjustment of reserve, then it should be transferred to revaluation account. So out of 22,500, 15,000 we can adjust against reserve, remaining 7,500 we are going to adjust against revaluation account. I hope everybody has understood the most important adjustment of the problem. Next adjustment, sundry creditors are to be valued at rupees 62,250. At rupees 62,250, that means the problem is telling us what is the amount that should come to the outer column, 62,250. So there is a reduction. It seems that some creditors have offered us discount or they have told us that no need to pay to us. You are our old customer, something of that sort must have happened. So 62,250, difference is how much? 750 rupees. 750 rupees. We'll transfer it to, it is our income now. A liability is getting cancelled. Liability getting cancelled is our profit. It is our income. Income should be transferred to revaluation account credit side by creditors. 750. Next point. Capitals of Adil and Samir to be adjusted taking Raju's capital as base. Adjustment of capital is to be made through cash. Okay, so before we make the adjustment of capital, what should we do? We should first of all close the revaluation account. Find out the total profit or loss. 30,000 plus 750 is equal to 30,750. I think credit side is heavy. 30,750. From 30,750, we are going to deduct 7,500. 30,750. Yes, minus 3,900 and minus 7,500. What remains is 19,350. This 19,350 is a balancing figure, so I am encircling the same. Then it is to be transferred to our old partners in their old ratio. Samir, Adil and two partners capital account. Old ratio is 2:1, so I'll consider 2 and 1. Okay. 19,350 to be divided. 19,350 to be divided by 3 multiplied by 2. So 6450. 6450 for Samir and into 2. 12,900 for Adil. Amount columns are always right aligned. Let us consider right aligned. Here I'll write by revaluation. 12,900 and 6,450 and dash. Okay, let me remove one line so we will have sufficient space for the purpose of writing the things. Yes, and this encirclement I'll go to shift up. Okay, then I'm going to increase my partner's capital account. Very good. And yes, one line I'm going to insert here, so if there is any additional capital brought in, that can be shown by me. Okay, mistake. Yeah. Insert below. Yeah. Now what should we do? We should go for our working note number 4. Working note number 4 talks about adjustment of partner's capital. I'll specify total credit after all adjustments. Let us find out total credit of Adil after all adjustments. 90,000 plus 8,000 is equal to 98,000 plus 10,000 is equal to 1,08,000 plus 12,900 is equal to 1,20,900. So I'm going to the working note. I'm going to write here 1,20,900. Next, Samir, the total of credit is 48,600 plus 4,000 plus 5,000 plus 6,450. That goes to 64,050. 48,600 plus 4,000 plus 5,000 plus 6,450. That goes to 64,050. Total credit is considered in Samir's column. 64,050. Raju's total credit is quite easy. Total credit of Raju is 30,000. There is no totaling required. I am going to write 30,000 as it is. Okay. What is the new ratio we had calculated? The new ratio was, if you remember properly, 6:3:3. I hope everybody can see this particular thing. 6:3:3. So in the working note, near the partner's capital, I am going to write their PSR 6, 3 and 3, and then I'm going to write total debit after all adjustments. What is the amount of total debit after all adjustments? Check it for Adil. 8 plus 8 plus 8 matlab 24. 24 plus 5 is equal to 29,000. So Adil is 29,000. Look at Samir. 4 plus 4 plus 4 is equal to 12,000. 12,000 plus 2,500 is equal to 14,500. So I'm going to consider 14,500. Look at Raju. There is nothing remaining in Raju's debit side, so there is no tension. Debit side can be considered to be 0. Whatever remains, that will be called as balance after all adjustments. 1,20,900. 1,20,900 minus 29,000. We get 91,900. Next, 64,050. 64,050 minus 14,500 is equal to 49,550. And 30,000 is equal to 30,000. Below this, we'll have to specify somebody may have to bring in extra capital, somebody may be eligible to withdraw some capital. Whatever remains will be called as expected capital taking Raju as base. So Raju should be considered as 30,000. 30,000 ratio is already known to us, PSR. Which PSR? New PSR. New PSR was 6:3:3. Then calculation. If 30,000 is equal to 3, then 6 is equal to how much? So it will be 30,000 into 6 upon 3 is equal to how much? Is equal to 60,000. Take the case of Samir, we need not calculate it separately now because it is already known to us. The amount is going to be 30,000 only. So this is going to be 30,000 and this is also going to be 30,000. 30,000 into 3 by 3. Why it is taking more space? Okay. And here it is already known to us 30,000 is the starting point. Raju is our base. So I can specify my expected capital is how much? 30,000. And my expected capital is how much? 60,000. Look at the capital of Mr. Adil. His capital is 91,900, but his capital should be expected to be is 60,000. So that means we can specify 31,900 he can withdraw. Samir capital is 49,550, but expected capital is 30,000. That means he can withdraw 19,550. Raju cannot withdraw anything. Samir will not bring in anything. Adil will not bring in anything. So brought in credit to capital account is not there. Withdrawn debit to capital account is here. Okay. So we are already knowing that Adil and Samir are going to withdraw the money. Adil and Samir are receivers and cash is going out. Entry will be Adil's capital account debit, Samir's capital account debit to cash or bank account. Adil debit side 31,900. Let me put an encircle for the same. Okay. So Adil is the receiver, Samir is the receiver. Entry will be Adil's capital account debit, Samir's capital account debit to cash or bank account. So I'll write here to cash account. The amount which is withdrawn by Adil is how much? 31,900, and second one is 19,550. 31,900 and I forgot the amount. 19,550. Yes, here it is 19,550. In front of this cash account in particulars column just write working note number 4. So you are in a position to tell your examiner where did this amount come in the account. Okay, nobody has brought in anything. And now we'll have to transfer the second effect of this 31,900 and 19,550 to our cash or bank account. So let us go to cash or bank account. On the credit side we'll write by Adil's capital and by Samir's capital. The amount is how much? For Adil the amount is, we have just now calculated, 31,900, and for Samir 19,550. 31,900, 19,550. 31,900 and 19,550. Okay, so we have completed working note number 4 and its posting. Let us now consider what is the balancing figure of partners capital account. We already know partners capital account credit side now. Reason is on the credit side there is no new adjustment. So the total which we have taken in this working note number 4, total credit, that has not changed. So I am writing it as it is here. The same amount will come on debit side and then we will find out the balance. And if our calculations are correct, then the balance should be 60,000, 30,000 and 30,000, because that is what we have working. We have made the working in working note number 4. Let us check whether our working is correct or not. 30,000 and again 30,000. Please make your calculations, check out whether this amount is 60, 30 and 30 or not. If it is not the same, then there is some mistake which you have done. Okay, 60, 30 and 30, it should be same, and now the account is tallying. So revaluation account is closed. It is transferred to partners capital account. Partners capital account is closed. It should be transferred to balance sheet. In the balance sheet, I'll write here 60, 30 and 30. This amount I had already considered from partners capital, expected capital, taking Raju as base. Okay, so partners capital outer column is 1,20,000. Now any account is pending. Let me check. Revaluation is over. Partners capital is over. This is balance sheet, and then there are ledger accounts. Goodwill account is tallying. Very good, no problem. 12 plus 15 is equal to 27. 8 plus 4 is equal to 12 plus 15 is equal to 27. Let us consider cash or bank account. Debit side total is 30,600 plus 30,000 plus 15,000. That is 75,600. From 75,600, you are going to deduct 7,500. 75,600 minus 7,500 minus 31,900 minus 19,550. Remaining amount is 16,650. This is the balancing figure, so I'll take it and put a circle around it. We'll call it as by balance carried forward. By balance carried forward, and it will be transferred to balance sheet. Okay, I'll write it here, cash. What is the amount of cash? 16,650. Oh, not in the inner column, but it should be in the outer column. 16,650. Let us take the total of the same. $1,05,000 plus 85,500 plus 35,100 plus 16,650. Total is 2,42,250. Let me consider 2,42,250. Let me go down. Oh, I'm appearing here. Okay, 2,42,250. Oh, this amount is not required to be considered here. What is this amount? We don't know. 2,42,250. And then let us check what is the total of liability side also. 1,20,000 plus 62,250 plus 60,000. It is 2,42,250. So the balance sheet is tallying, and we have achieved whatever we were supposed to achieve. Very nice problem, important problem. So many different adjustments we have seen. Adjustment was of, first of all, sacrifice ratio simple adjustment, no difficulty. Capital brought in by partner, no difficulty. Goodwill brought in by partner, no difficulty. Goodwill half withdrawn, no difficulty, but existing goodwill should be written off. Investment fluctuation reserve, how to use investment fluctuation reserve, how to treat P&L account of asset side, how to treat investment suspense account of asset side, and then how to consider Raju's capital as base and calculate the amount of partner's capital. All these different things we have seen. Very beautiful problem. And one more thing is pending from your side, that is giving numbering to this working out. So now I'm stopping the lecture, and I'll add the number, and I'll add it in the editing part of the video. Please take your own 2 minutes extra, give the numberings, and afterwards check the numbering whichever I'm adding to the video separately. Okay, so thank you very much. In the next lecture I'm going to consider next problem. Okay, bye bye.